Okay, so I have them all selected. Let's talk about this very quickly. I'm going to hit Command 0 to pop this into full view. So I have all of my slices now. If I go to my slice select tool, I can come in and just target any one of these, and they will highlight with a slight orange highlight right around them. You can see it, barely can see it right along the edge, and it's telling you which slice you're targeting and what number it is. Now, what in terms of design, two things that we need to think about. One is your fonts, and another one is your positioning of your links for both the footer and the link bar here. Now, in the event that you so choose to use a really fancy font, that means the user has to have that font on their computer to view your website exactly the way you want it to be viewed. If they don't have that font, you're not going to see it, or they're not going to see it on their computer. So one way to get around all of that is, and that means if you insist on having a particular font that you know more than likely no one else is going to have on their computer, then you're going to save each one of these out as a visual, as a graphic slice. So that now the World Wide Web is seeing it as a JPEG image and not a font to be converted. If it's going to be a standard font, something like Arial or Times New Roman that pretty much everybody in the world is going to have, then you don't need to worry about any of this. So the font that I'm using is one of those fonts that more than likely some people may or may not have. And if that is going to be the case, I might want to create slices for these as well. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. Now I want to export this out so that we can view this inside of Dreamweaver. To do so, under your file menu export, you have this save for web option. The shortcut's going to be your Alt, Shift, Control, S. I use the four fingers on my keyboard. I have that memorized. It's all three modifiers: Controller, Command, Alt, or Option, Shift, and then S on your keyboard. Okay. We click it. You're going to get this dialog box, the Save for Web dialog box is going to come up. And from this dialog box, you get to see all of your slices. Look at that. All of your slices. All right. So it's honoring all of this. The first thing I need to do is you can optimize them in several different ways. So right now, what I like you to do is I want you to keep them as JPEGs. If we start going to PNG or GIF, you can optimize them in several different ways. But JPEG is one of the most widely used graphic formats on the web right now. What this 2-up, I'm going to go 2-up, and 4-up is if you apply some optimization, you get to view those optimizations side by side. Right? So if we're using a PNG, or even let's say like a GIF file format, we want to save all these out as a GIF file format. I choose the GIF from here, the options, selective, interactive, adopted, and then change how many colors are going to be that I'm going to export this out as. And then as I export smaller amounts of color, that means the quality is going to go down. You get to actually see them side by side. If I hold my spacebar key and drag this around, I can drag around my entire page, and each one of these options here, depending on which window I select. So if I hit this window, let's go for this window here, and it's going to be, we're going to say that's going to be a GIF. We'll go to that option for the GIF, and that's going to be about 2-color GIF, right? Look at this, horrible. And this one over here, we're going to say, well, that one's going to be like maybe that's the quality, that's JPEG. Maybe we'll go to a GIF again, and this one we'll say, okay, we're going to make this one closer to a 64 color GIF. Okay, see what that looks like compared to the other. Or this one here on this window, I can decide, well, let's make that a JPEG medium, right? And now I can compare them all to my original, which is up here in the top right hand corner. This is always your original, and all the rest are your modified versions. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm gonna go back to the optimized version, that's the original version, and just view that. And that's all we're going to work with now. That just focus on this one for right now. The option you want is JPEG. I'm going to target the JPEG. You do have other options here. You've got JPEG, PNG, 8-bit, 24-bit, and then the world BMP. And you have your GIF right above your JPEG. We'll target the JPEG. I prefer perceptual, works fine. I think that will be absolutely fine. Then right down here, you have your dithering, and that will smooth out your image. They got pattern. I want to go diffusion. We'll stick with that one. All right. So I'm in PNG. I meant to target 8 JPEG there. Sorry about that. So JPEG. Go to the medium. It's medium now. Just go to high. I'm going to high quality, and you can see just from looking at it, assess visual what's going on. That'll be good enough. Here's your quality. All the high did was adjust the quality setting. If I come right over here to low, you'll see that quality setting is set for 10 now, and you can adjust that. You can go to 100%. 100% will be safe for this. I think with the high speed internet that everybody has, not going to have a problem at all. So JPEG maximum optimized, and all right, that I think that's going to work. So I also have convert to sRGB, which is a good thing because the web only sees sRGB. You have other color formats such as Adobe RGB 1998, which is allowing you to view a lot more colors and tones than sRGB. sRGB stands for small RGB color space. That's what the web is used to. Leave it for that. Some of you may have 4K monitors. It's going to give you a better result. But again, the web is optimized for sRGB. All right, now we need to save it out, right? So there's 2 things we want to save out. We want to save out the images, and we want to save out the HTML files. We want to view this inside Dreamweaver. So let's come right down here to the bottom where it says save, and I'm going to target save. Now it gives you a save box. My screen is maximized here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll. Let's see if I can make this a little smaller. Possibly, or possibly not. All right. So here, we need to tell it where to go, right? Where are we going to save all of these? So right down here, we have options. For the format, by default, it says images only. That's not what we want. We not only want the images, we also want to save the HTML files. So we go to the drop list here, and we can also have an option that says save HTML only or HTML and images. I will click both the HTML and images option. Okay, dropping down this menu, let's see. I'm going to keep the default settings for now. Slices, yep, it's going to see the slices. That's exactly right. We want all slices. It's targeted by default. And what it's going to do is it's going to take every single one of those slices, save those slices into the images folder, and put the HTML in the main folder. Okay. All right. So the file name, I tell you what, let's go call it my site, which is Chrome Illusion .html. Okay. All right. So I'm going to come right up here, go to my desktop. That's where my folder is. On my desktop, I have my 0 websites folder. Double click it. And I want it to target the Chromolution responsive folder. Now I'm going to go ahead and click open it so it knows that's a folder it's going to go into, and it's just saved everything out. Now let's go test this out. I'm going to hit Command or Control Shift O to go to my bridge, desktop. We're going to go find the website folders, Chromolution responsive. All right, and let's see where it went. All right, so I just noticed I made a little bit of a mistake in that I put it into the root of the websites folder rather than the Chromolution responsive folder. So if I target the website, there is my images folder and there's my Chromolution. I can drag them both into the Chromolution responsive folder. So if I double click on the images folder, there they all are, right? Let's go ahead and maximize it. You can see all the individual images that there's my bar. There's the individual images once again. Those are the slices. Those are my slices. And then into the website folder, there's my Chromolution. Right? So if I target that and the images, holding the Shift key down, and just drag them into the Chromolution responsive folder, then that way I can stay organized that way. All right, so inside my Chromolution responsive folder, you can see, under my website, you can see here, just keep in mind that that's my original website. This is my new one that I'm doing for you guys. I have my class tutorials, which I did for you guys last week. I'll probably create a new file. So Command or Control Shift N is a shortcut for making a new folder. And I'm going to call this one Original Images, so that all my layered images will go inside this folder. It's a way for me to keep organized. Everything that I use to create this website will stay inside the Original Images folder. You're welcome to keep it on your hard drive or put it on a storage drive to back it up, or even to upload it directly to your server so it sits there in the event that your hard drive crashes and you lose everything on your hard drive. You've got another place to store this. You should have plenty enough space from your ISP to be able to accomplish that task. That's up to you. All right, so here's my images once again. All right, and if we go back, here are my, you can see the gallery 1, as well as my my HTML. Let me go back to the websites. I forgot to bring in the Chromolution HTML. I'm going to just drag that on over to the responsive. There it is. And then I'm going to, just to be safe, I'm going to drag this on over to the responsive as well. It's going to say auto replace. Let's go ahead and auto just replace everything. All right, so go in the images. Everything should all be there. It should be my slice files in addition to those original files that I had in there. Okay, they're both in there together. So there we go. There's the images. Now, what we're going to do is let's actually view this on your web page, and you can do that by going into the responsive, find the Chromolution.html, and let's see what happens when we open this up. There it is. Now there's my web page. There it is. You're seeing it. Now your background is not right, but don't worry about that for now. I just want you to be able to get this up. And you can see that none of these are even hot yet, but you have the pages up. Okay. All right. Now we need to get this up to your server so that you guys can give me a link so that I can view your homework assignment. Now we're going to get really deep into Dreamweaver on next week. For right now, I just want you to give me a link to your server to each of your pages. So a link for your front page, a link to your interior pages for each one of those. And then what we'll do is the following week I'm gonna show you how to format this so that all these are hot linked to those prospective pages and other locations to your website. Okay. So right now we are in my web browser, and you can see it right there. It says right up here in the top is under my desktop websites, Chromolution responsive, chromolution.html. Okay. That needs to be called index, right? So let's close this out. Let's come back to where it says Chromolution HTML, and we're going to title it index. You can just go into Dreamweaver and rename it, right? So if I double click it, there it is. Okay, index.html. That's what you need.